Hello everyone, this is Ronnie, and on this channel I talk about my own raw vegan diet and lifestyle, and maybe that'll help you out if you're trying to do that. And in my last video I was talking about feelings in relation to food and emotions, and what I was really talking about is to get healthy and make healthier choices, you're probably going to have to go against your feelings, which goes against what a lot of people want to believe is how they can sort of orientate their path in life. Like, I'm just going to follow my feelings, I'm going to follow my heart. But how do you do that? What about a drug addict? Does a heroin addict follow his heart? Because a heroin addict loves heroin, totally loves heroin, right? And an alcoholic loves alcohol. Um, Genuinely, that's what they feel in that moment, even though it's probably not real love or whatever, but that is what they feel. And when it comes to food, people say, I love my food. I love my food. I love my food. I couldn't do what you're doing. I love my food. Everyone says that. And even when they know they eat the food and they don't feel good, despite that, they still eat the food. And that's the nature of addiction, right? And it's not just with cooked food. You can get addictions to raw food, certain types of raw food for sure. But one thing I would say is sweet fruits, most of the non sweet fruits, most of the vegetable fruits, greens, most of the vegetables, um, and even and maybe even the fatty fruits as well. Like, you're not going to develop any kind of addiction to. And I guess I want to talk about that. But I guess my question for this video is like, how do you then develop proper emotional feeling intuition towards eating the right food? How do you develop that? Well, I don't know. Maybe you never fully do. You know, I don't really believe in this concept that your body can tell you through feelings what to eat, because we used to live in a situation where we didn't have a choice really, or we had very few choices. So it didn't matter what you felt. You only had a certain choice to eat. If you're going through the forest and you come through a lychee type tree and you hate lychees, you don't have a choice. What else are you going to eat? You better develop a taste for lychees pretty quick. So you don't maybe don't like you don't love them. They're not your favorite. But I think our relationship to food would have been a lot different, where we would have been a lot more grateful for simpler pleasures. We would have been a lot more grateful for any fruit. And a lot of people still get really annoyed about the quality of the fruit in the supermarket. And I get that to a degree, but you have to change your whole mentality about that and realize that, yeah, there is some fruit that's not particularly adequate, but there's still fruit that is adequate, and there's still some fruit that's really good. And every now there's something that's really spectacular. So you got to be grateful for that. And bananas always ripen up and taste like bananas, and grapes almost always taste like grapes, and citrus is almost always pretty good if you like that. And the mangoes are often good, and in the summer the stone fruits are good, and the cherries and the berries are good in the summer. And you got the persimmons at this time of year, and maybe cherimoys if you can find them. And pineapples are often very good, and apples are often very good, and on and on and on. Like, most fruit is better than people give it credit for. They're just coming off of a diet of refined sugar, and they're so used to this such a high level of sugar that they go to taste fruit and they're like, this is bland. This isn't like what it was when I was a child, when I was in my grandmother's garden. It's like, you've got a completely false perception. You've damaged your whole ability to taste anything through years of sugar and salt and everything else. You have to take some time. But with trying to get in touch with your body, most people are up here in life. We get trained to be up here. It's where all the money is in life. Rational thinking, rational thought, analysis. This is what we get trained in school. You get sat at a table, you do left brain things like numbers and rational logical words and blah blah blah. Um, and you sit still and you don't move your body much, and you learn language, and then you analyze things, and you learn to analyze and break things down and explain this and all this stuff, and it's all training of this part of the mind, so that when you go into a job or a career and they ask you to do those things, you're able to do them because you can read, you can write, you can use numbers, you can analyze things, you can come up with opinions on whatever and see patterns, whatever it is. You can do all that, but it also makes you, everyone's like top heavy in their head, like everyone's way up here, and even a lot of spiritual people are like way up here, like all these people that take ayahuasca. Like the first thing you should do in your spiritual path is not take ayahuasca. Right? This is what so many people do. The first thing, like, yeah, let's go and do this extremely hallucinogenic drug, and then they're like lost for years. A lot of these people just lost, like. But anyway, everyone's way up here. Yeah, so you meet ayahuasca shaman people. They're all up here. They're all like, oh, they're not grounded. A lot of people. Anyway, I'm just being judgmental, I guess, but you need to get down in here. And I learned through I've practiced this martial art Aikido for years, and in Aikido it was focus on your one point. Your one point is below your belly button. It's supposedly the energy center, where your ki comes from. And it's funny that a lot of people, whether it's yoga, martial arts, qigong, meditation, talk about this center. People talk about the chakras and all that, but this particular center has been a source of energy. And if you just start to focus down into your body, if you literally bring the focus of your attention more into your body, that's basically what the practice does. Focus on your one point. So you go out walking, you focus on roughly your belly button area. You're bringing your attention down into your body. I think that helps. Meditation in itself, and a lot of people do meditation where they stay up in their head, but you need to, come down into the body, and really become very, very, very in touch with every single feeling of the body. When you're eating, just be very, very, very aware of it. A lot of people don't have very good awareness at all of their body. Like, it's really scary to me the more I learn about that. I don't know specifically how to develop more awareness of your body, but probably anything you can do, whether it's starting to exercise, starting to do yoga, starting to literally be in touch with your, like, even touch your body, but move your body and feel it move. And any of these movement practices, basically exercise, learning any skill of movement, coordination, balance. But so many people are disconnected from their body, for sure. And I think that's what the standard diet forces people to do, forces them to disconnect, basically, because it's such a bad diet. It's so damaging to the body. It's such an abuse that people have to, like, totally disconnect from it, just the way that people disconnect from abuse all the time. Like eating food, and then you have terrible digestion, and then they go and eat the same food day after day after day after day. You can't do that if you're connected to your body. And people that are maybe like, oh, I've got ridiculously bad digestion and I went raw and I've still got bad digestion. It's like, do you realize how long you ignored the fact you had bad digestion for that to manifest? Like, that, you must have been ignoring that for a long time. Like, what you should have done is, the moment you felt weird, bad digestion, you should have went, I need to change something. Diet-wise, actually your diet. And no one wants, that's another thing. You need to get really super honest. It is about your diet. Your health is almost entirely to do with your diet. And a few other outside factors, but diet is massively the biggest thing, So get in touch with your body. I think you need to get rid of this expectation that your body's going to one day teach you how to eat. It's not. Like, your body is designed to react to your environment. It gets triggered, and it'll get triggered to almost eat anything. Anything you've ever eaten in your life, you'll get triggered to eat at some point. Anything you like to eat. The body isn't saying you need that. It's not saying that's healthy. This is a big mistake that some raw food teachers make. Oh, if you're walking through the supermarket and you see an onion and you like the look of that onion, that's your body telling you. No, it's not. That's your body triggering you from a reminder of a memory of eating onion in the past. That's how that works. It's nothing to do with your body having some database of nutrients and going, brrr, we need extra, brrr, that thing, that phytonutrient, onion. It doesn't work like that. How could it work like that? How could it work like that out in nature? Always go back to like nature. How does that work in nature? Do you have like an unlimited supermarket of fruit that you foods that you can select from in nature? Is that how it works? No, of course not. You have to eat what's available when it's available in a very short time frame, especially if you're a frugivore. You have to travel to go and get it. There's not a lot of options, you know. So the idea that you would go, oh, I know that nutrient, so I need to go and travel to another country to get that, like, doesn't happen. We're opportunistic, frugivorous animals, and if we can't find fruit, we'll eat something else. But most of the feelings that people have related to food are addiction feelings. Just addiction, hyper dopamine response, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the right words for it. Addiction may be a strong word, but it's the exact same thing as any other addiction. It's just that it does keep people alive, so it's not as bad an addiction. But I don't know, like, you can't really teach this stuff to people. You have to experience it yourself. At the end of the day, you have to experience a lot of this stuff yourself. You have to make that relationship yourself with your body. You have to commit to making that relationship with your body. You have to say, I am ready to make a relationship with my body, you know, a proper loving relationship where I feed it the best. You know, people are so disconnected, they almost don't even register that they have a relationship with their body. They don't register that they have a body, almost. It's almost how people act. And with people that are overweight, it tends to be worse. Like, they're almost super disconnected to their bodies. And just developing a connection with their body would be a good start, a really good start. Because being up here and pretending like nothing's happening and your digestion isn't terrible and you don't feel terrible, and like, it's not a good place to be, you know. By the way, plenty of people would say that I'm all up in my head a lot of the time, so no one's perfect here, but definitely meditation is a good practice. But it has to be meditation that actually brings you into your body. And a lot of people do this, like, visualization, guided visualization, leaving their body stuff. That's worse. Like, get back. Stop trying to leave your body. Develop a relationship with your body. Like, I would go to like spiritual and meditation classes and stuff, and there's all these people who are seriously sick and they're all trying to leave their body already. They're trying to get out. They want to do a meditation to get out of their body, get out of their life. No, get back into your life. The whole, if you're here for a reason. So get here, stay here, be here, master life. If you want to master health and master your relationship with your body, it's with a raw vegan diet, I believe. My belief, you know. Because it is the diet that's the least harmful to the body, the most harmonious for the body, it makes the most sense to the body, that the body reacts to in the most peaceful, best way. And I think that's an awesome thing, you know. So, some thoughts for you today. I don't know what else, like, in terms of developing this strong emotional connection with your body, or awareness with your body. I think it takes the practice of eating and being honest. And a lot of people aren't honest. Oh, I have potatoes and it's the same. It's not. If you really think, and that's the one thing I'd say, if you eat a raw vegan diet for a while and then you eat potatoes and you say the potatoes are exactly the same, as I've seen people do, or I don't really feel much difference, I went back to cook food and I don't feel much difference, in my opinion, these people are lying. They're deluded. They're maybe not lying, but they're probably people that find it easy to lie and manipulate others, and therefore they lie to themselves. Well, I don't like that. I'm not perfect, but I want to make an effort not to lie if I don't have to. And I certainly don't want to lie to myself and say, oh, I enjoyed these potatoes. I feel exactly the same with potatoes and rice as I do with fruit. No, you don't. There's not a chance that that's the case. There is not a chance that that's the case. Even steamed veggies. I feel fine with steamed veggies. Like, no, you don't really. It's not the same as eating bananas. And yes, would it be great if bananas were addictive and had the same thing? Yeah, it would be great, but they're not. And that's how they're designed. They're not meant to be. They're not meant to cause that. That's why they're a majestic food. That's why all the fruits are majestic foods. And the foods that we should go towards. No addiction, no compulsion, peace. No food addiction. The only way you're going to get rid of food addiction is if you get rid of the foods that cause addiction. 100% fruit diet. Don't bother with vegetables. I'm not against the vegetables, and I'm not against people. I eat vegetables and all that. But maybe for beginners, just go on the fruit, man. You're not going to run out of minerals. Like, this is all rubbish. There's not a single person that's ever done that. Make sure you eat enough calories. But I'm telling you, the majority of people, we should probably say, just go on one fruit for 3 months. And then the rest of the year go on 4 fruits. And do that for a year. Make that your 2021 and your life will be absolutely transformed, health-wise. You need to eat enough calories, but most people are overweight anyway, so you might as well lose a little bit of weight. You don't have to make this so complex. I'm going to have 20 recipes, and I'm going to have a pizza recipe and a shepherd's pie recipe, and I'm going to have 5 different types of smoothie with 3 different types of spices in it, or whatever. No, you don't need to do all that. And for a lot of people who are in a serious position where they need to make a change, they need to lose the weight, they need to get their diabetes gone, they need to get their high blood pressure down, they need to get their heart disease reversed, they need to get rid of their arthritis, they need to get rid of their depression, they need to get all these things. Serious big problem that all they're doing is contributing to every day by making bad choices. 100% raw vegan diet. 100%. Why not? What have you got to lose? What have you got to gain? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, the other side, what you've got to gain. You've got to gain this unbelievable life. And plant-based, it's like, yeah, okay. I'm really happy if people are plant-based. I'm happy about it, but there's another level. And it's just another level of peace and comfort. It's not like you're going around high all the time. Just pure peace, comfort, clarity of mind, consistency of energy, on the foundation on which the rest of your life can be built. What an incredible foundation. Peace, comfort, clarity, not a noise digestively, not a noise, not a feeling. You don't even feel like you're digesting anything. Pure peace of body, peace of mind, harmonious. No addictions, compulsions for things that harm you. It becomes boring after a while. But 4 months of mangoes was the best. Eating-wise was the best time of my life, I'd say, eating-wise. Just simple, easy. No sign of it being any negative thing. No sign of, I'm running out of this or that, or deficiencies, or blah, blah, blah. No sign. No sign. So, 2021, how are we going to start off the year? 2021 challenge, moving forward. We'll see. We'll see. Probably going to do some kind of challenge if you want to join me. Challenge yourself for at least for January. And well, thank you very much for joining today. If you want to join my newsletter, you can go to fruitfest.co.uk. That will also give you information about the Fruit Festival. I have a book, I have a course, I have different things that I'll tell you about over the course of time. And you can feel free to subscribe, share the channel. Thank you very much for joining me today.